Hey, what's going on, people? It's Guns for Hire from NextGenTactics, and welcome to the Call of Duty Super Series, where we take a look at various game types on the 4 most recent Call of Duty game entries, including Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare, World at War, Modern Warfare 2, and of course, Black Ops. The Super Series allows us as gamers to take a look at the various aspects of each game type to see what we liked about it and what we didn't like about it. This type of video, in conjunction with your comments, can actually be very helpful for developers in terms of creating a product that is overall well balanced and suited to what the actual general gaming community wants. Alright, let's get into some Team Deathmatch. Starting off on Call of Duty 4, of course. First one we're going to be talking about. We're doing the Bog. Bog's an interesting map, actually. It's always high action. There's no real places for people to camp on this, so you didn't get a lot of people complaining about camping. There really weren't. I mean, some people sort of hunkered down in some of the buildings, but other than that, there weren't really any places that you could camp. And this is a huge snipers map. Lots of people want to be snipers on here, and of course, when there's a lot of snipers, there's opportunities for people with SMGs to go running back here and killing them. Like that guy there. You know what I mean? I don't mind snipers at all. I actually do like them because they're, for the most part, static and looking down scopes or whatever. The only difference being was in Modern Warfare 2, where they were quick scoping. So they were running around with us. And, you know, love or hate it, that's the way it is. I mean, Modern Warfare 2, quick scoping, that's kind of the thing that defines, well, one of the many things that really defines Modern Warfare 2 was the ability for gamers to quick scope. And there were quick scopers, don't get me wrong, like when I played, you know, this game here, COD 4, when it first came out. Oh, I think I died. Do I die here? Oh, wow, I can't believe I survived that. But there were quick scopers, but there was a different type of quick scoper. I mean, these individuals, it was like borderline hard scope quick scope, because to bring the sights up was very, very slow, basically. So it wasn't easy. I mean, the quick scopers here didn't necessarily go running around the map like they did in Modern Warfare 2. They moved cautiously, but they were very, very skilled, and they were still able to actually quick scope when they needed to. But they didn't do, like, you know, in Modern Warfare 2, where everyone's running around, like, the quick scopers there were like, you know, as if they were holding an SMG or something. But it was a one-shot kill, so it was kind of a little bit annoying. Let's not go down that road here. Now, you notice here, several cases, and it's prevalent like crazy in this, is Juggernaut. A lot of people use Juggernaut. It was a source of grief for many people, including myself. I love, and this is something that I love about Black Ops. I really, really, truly, honestly love the fact that they did this. I think it's a brilliant move, and they need to continue doing this. Get rid of the stopping power, get rid of the Juggernaut. But the Juggernaut, you know, it's not so bad so much in Call of Duty 4. You really just have to make sure that you drop them before. Like, I mean, you see me here. I mean, they got Juggernaut, but I'm still not struggling here. Oh, look in the M16. Is this mine, or did I just pick it up? I don't know. M16, very, very powerful in COD 4. Very easy. One burst kill, if you can actually burst them. but a very, very powerful weapon. And it was, you know, considered... It's funny, though, because it was considered the noob weapon of Call of Duty 4, and yet not a lot of people used it. If it was truly a noob weapon, believe me, all the new people in Call of Duty would use it. And I don't consider the M16 to be a noob weapon by any means. Yes, it may have technically been, you know, overpowered, but not a noob weapon. And the reason why I say that is it's semi-automatic, it's burst fire, and most, you know, newbies, as we call them, you know, people that are very new to the game, do not like picking up semi-automatic weapons. They find them frustrating. They'd rather have the AK. If anything, I would consider the noob weapon would be the AK-47, except for the fact that you get it as one of the, what is it? Is it one of the last weapons that you unlock in Call of Duty 4? So, I mean, you don't get it in the beginning, but I mean, if you didn't Prestige and you just stayed in the first one, you had the AK. The AK was incredibly powerful, fully automatic, so you didn't even actually have to have any real skill in terms of aiming and locating your opponents, you just sprayed the shit out of them with the AK. So, I mean, that's my perspective. I look at the AK as a newbie weapon because it was very, very powerful, and, you know, it was just automatic. Hold down the button and kill people, whereas the M16 burst fire was constant. You had to be on the money, although it was a one-shot kill, granted, but I'm saying for later on, not necessarily in COD 4, because it was a one-burst kill, kind of making it a little bit too easy. But later on in the series, in the other games like Modern Warfare 2, and even in Black Ops, you know, it takes a little bit more skill. You do see some people with M16, but it's not like crazy like the other weapons now. Let's get into some more deathmatch stuff. I think we're at the end here. So 37-4, you die. It's very, very high action in this one. The BOG was always amazing for action, and oddly enough for snipers as well. Let's go into the next one. World at War. Alright, I'm going to actually be using the MP40 here, and I wanted to show you guys this. For those of you that did not play the game, I don't think I have Juggernaut on the one I'm using. No, I use double tap. Okay, so, but the ultimate, this is considered the ultimate noob weapon in World at War, for those of you that never played this game. And hopefully I'll be able to demonstrate that in this game here. But in World at War, the ultimate noob combination in this game, and really there was only one really overpowered weapon, and this was it. The rest of them, and if you've heard me talk about, you know, World at War before, and talking about how well Treyarch balances weapons, this is the only exception to that rule. Everything else seemed to be really, really well balanced. I mean, you had to get used to that control lag, like I've always mentioned, but once you did that, you were fine. But this is the ridiculousness of the MP40. And I can honestly tell you, other than setting it up to show, like, you know, the hate series when I show specific weapons that are hated by most people, in the videos, I do not use the MP40. I try and avoid them, and this is earlier on, like, as a director. You don't want to use weapons that the general masses are going to, you know, rip you a new one for using. So I use this one to show you it. I mean, this is more of an example video anyway. But the ultimate noob combination was always the MP40 with Juggernaut. It always actually baffled me why people used it, other than, you know, I know the power behind it, but I mean, I never had any difficulty killing them with the Type 100. I think really all they did was ruin it for themselves. They put themselves at a handicap by using an overpowered weapon, rather than learning and getting really good with evasion techniques and learning the maps. Because if you learn how to evade properly, if you know the maps well, and you learn to go and understand how the enemy moves, it doesn't really matter even what weapon that you use. And that's the whole premise actually of the agency, which is the handguns only you know, thing that we started up. I mean, you couldn't go around with pistols only if you didn't know the maps. You have to have some level of skill. You have to know the maps. You have to know where you're going and how to evade enemies when they're actually right on you. Ugh, noob tubes and stuff. Dogs. Who's got the little puppies? Yes, I do. But, you know, the MP40 really put people at a severe disadvantage, and I found that in their gameplay. I mean, I found it was so easy to kill them, even if they had the MP40. It's just most of the time everyone had the MP40. It was the notorious noob weapon. Very, very powerful, but very unstable. Like, accuracy was horrible on it. People would just spray the crap out of it. They'd run around, because if you got in a 1v1, in a 1v1 situation, the MP40 will drop you almost every single time. And it's those situations that I avoid, and probably why I did well, because I don't necessarily just go running, blazing around like crazy. I can, but when in games like this, when you've got MP40s everywhere, when you end up popping around a corner and you're facing the enemy, and he's got an MP40, and I got a Type 100, chances are I'm going to be taking a dirt nap real soon. However, right now, it is very difficult to get into games in World at War. I mean, there's just not a lot of players, Xbox or PS3. I mean, you can still get into games, predominantly free-for-all and deathmatch, but other game types are a little more difficult to actually get into one. But, oh well. We got Black Ops now. We don't need to go back anyway, do we? Nah. Alright, let's move on to Modern Warfare 2. Oh yeah, Modern Warfare 2. So let's focus a little more now on you know, the actual game type, deathmatch. You know, what has changed over the different games? I mean, from Call of Duty 4, you know, World at War, and now Modern Warfare 2, where we're at. And I would say, up to the most part, and including Black Ops, actually, I would link Black Ops Deathmatch to more like Modern Warfare 2 Deathmatch. And here's the problem. I think in Call of Duty 4 and World at War, Team Deathmatch, while not really team-oriented, I mean, none of the team deathmatches are really team. I mean, it's just a group. It's a bunch. It's 6 people that have come together and gone off and wanting to get all the most kills. They're not really working as a team, because if it was true team deathmatch, like we would do when we're playing competitive, like if I was with the NGT Elite, there would be some actual tactics. We would move in a certain way so that we could actually, you know, either spawn trap or whatever it is that we need to actually get the kills, rather than just a group of randoms running around trying to get as many kills as possible, which is the way it was in Call of Duty 4 and World at War. However, there was a shift, and a fairly big shift, in terms of how deathmatch was played in Modern Warfare 2 and pretty much in Black Ops as well. And that's because of the introduction of these customizable kill streaks. When you got into Modern Warfare 2, oh look, some people are upset. Host migration was a great adaptation, actually. That being said, that was an amazing feature, obviously continued by Treyarch in Black Ops, an amazing feature in these games, because nothing was more frustrating than when the host left in either World at War or Call of Duty 4 and the game ended, just because, you know, they got spanked and they were running away with their tail tucked between their legs. So the host migration, brilliant idea, Infinity Ward, absolutely love it, awesome, and good job Treyarch for continuing it. They just got to perfect it because there's still some problems. I don't know if there's problems on the Xbox side, but they're still having, you know, I mean, hell, they're having problems with just keeping the party together, let alone host migration. But I'm sure that in the months to come, they'll resolve that as we move on to different games. Anyway, there's a shift. There's a shift in terms of how deathmatch is played, and it was extremely prevalent in Modern Warfare 2. And that was because of the kill streaks. Because people were kill streak whoring, I found that deathmatch wasn't as active. You got more you had a hell of a lot more campers because they were, you know, trying to stack up their kill streaks. They were being more careful. They wanted that nuke. They wanted their Harriers, their Pavlos, and their chopper gunners. So I found instead of like in Call of Duty 4 where people were running around crazy, it was such high action. It was constant high action. You get considerably more campers with these kill streaks. I mean, the more kill streaks that you have and the more powerful and sort of, you know, desired they are, you get people that are camping because they want to achieve that. And for the most part, because there's a lot of new people, and casual gamers will lack the skill necessary to run around on pure run and gun skills and actually get those kill streaks. So for a large portion of the population, there was a larger portion of campers in this game, and you'll see that. I mean, you see people hiding and waiting, and even if they have a Harrier doesn't require any control input. It's not like a chopper gunner, but while they've got the Harrier, they're sitting tight in some corner, hoping that Harrier will unlock the chopper gunner for them, so they're not going to risk going out running. Whereas you had, in Call of Duty 4, I don't remember anyone really kind of hiding and hoping that they're going to get their chopper, the helicopter or whatever. I mean, you play a little more cautiously, but you're still going to go out there and you're still going to try and actually get the kills. I just found the action to be way more sort of intense and continuous in World at War and Call of Duty 4 versus Modern Warfare 2 and, for the most part, Black Ops. Now, Black Ops did they attempted anyway to eliminate that aspect of it. I mean, that's why they made the kill streaks non-stackable. Other than the fact that, you know, it seemed to be unfair, it was also to prevent the fact that people would camp more. They would camp simply to get the next kill streak. In Black Ops, you get a kill streak, but those kills that, you know, that the helicopter would get you would not add up and not get you to the next kill streak that you had selected. So you still actually had to go out and earn that kill streak, which is a really good twist. But you notice here in Modern Warfare 2, don't get me wrong, man, I had a lot of fun times. I love Modern Warfare 2. I love Call of Duty, period. And I like what Infinity Ward does with this game. I prefer the crisp and cleanness of the movement. I like the map building of what Treyarch is able to actually do with their games. Particularly, actually, I'd say more so in World at War than Black Ops. Black Ops is still good, and I'm hoping to see more amazing games from them, like maps in the map packs. But I think World at War, they were so expansive, they were just so amazingly detailed. It's just, again, the graininess. You got to get used to it. I kind of overlooked it. I never really thought about it. You know, I noticed it, but it wasn't a deterrent. It wasn't me like, oh, I'm never going to play this game is garbage. I love the game. I played the game a lot until Modern Warfare 2 came out, and then I moved on. And then when Black Ops came out, I moved on from there. But I'm hesitant to go back to Modern Warfare 2 only because of the amount of hate that it received from a lot of players. There were other issues with Modern Warfare 2 that made it, undesirable for more hardcore gamers. So the gamers that enjoyed learning skills and getting actually better, rather than being handed all these, kill streaks and weapons and perks that allowed the most unskilled player to get really good kills. I know why they did it, is to increase the, and maybe it worked. Look at Black Ops. Record sales. $1 billion. You know what I mean? Maybe that's exactly how it actually worked. It attracted, it allowed these gamers, that otherwise in Call of Duty 4 World at War would have just gotten annihilated, would have gotten spanked. They wouldn't have stood a chance. In all honesty, I mean, I found it a lot easier for me to continuously and consistently dominate in World at War and Call of Duty 4. Whereas, in Modern Warfare 2, I could still do it on a regular basis, but not at the same consistency level, because you've got Scavenger with noob tubes, danger close, and then you've got these crazy kill streaks that just allowed any person to, haphazardly and, almost sometimes pure luck end up dominating a game when otherwise they would absolutely not stand a chance. And I think it was done strategically to attract more of the lower skilled, the casual gamers. So if that was the case, they did an amazing job. But, for gamers like myself, there was an aspect of the game that kind of was missing, and it was a bit of a disappointment for the more serious gamers, but for the general community, it was probably a good move. Okay, last but not least, Black Ops, and we're going to be playing on grid. I'm guessing I'm going to be using the FAMAS. It's funny though, I know a lot of people are like, oh, all you're using is the FAMAS. When I started this game, the only reason why I used the FAMAS was because it was one of the first automatic weapons unlocked. And so I did use it. But I was not a fan. Oh, am I going to use it? Come on, use the AK. Ah, yes. And here's another example. So I did it with the World at War, showing you the noob weapon. For those of you that don't have Black Ops, this is considered the noob weapon of Black Ops. And again, I'm hesitant to actually call it noob. I don't think it's necessarily overpowered, but there's a couple of features I'm going to mention on it that does sort of lend itself and maybe support the fact that it maybe is a noob weapon. Now, before you go and try and harp on me, if you notice in any of my videos, I do not use the AK-74U. This is really for demonstration purposes. And for those of you that don't actually have it or are going to be picking it up at Christmas time, I know I use the term, but I just use it because it's kind of a funny thing. But Christmas noobs, the ones that get it at Christmas time, and then us hardcore nerdy gamers pick on you and, basically make you hate this game. But you won't. You'll get better at it. No worries. Just stick with it. Don't worry about all the people picking on you. So anyway, if you're looking for a weapon, and I'll support it anyway because everyone else is still using it, so I don't care if people are harping. But if you're looking for an easy weapon to use, a versatile weapon that's going to get you kills, and you're just getting this game recently, use the AK-74U. There's a reason why every friggin' Tom, Dick, and Harry is using it. It's not the most accurate weapon, but the power and the fire rate on it makes it an incredibly ideal weapon, an easy weapon to use to get kills. Very, very easy to drop people, more so than any other SMG out there. I personally, and I use this only because I don't want to use the AK-74 because everyone else does. I mean, I should switch back. Sometimes I just don't even care. You know what I mean? I'm like, I'm going to get trolled. Who cares? I'll use it and annihilate people. But I use the MPL. It seems a bit tinny, but I find with, I use rapid fire and silencer on it. I don't even care about the grip. Rapid fire and silencer on the MPL, and I find I'm able to still get a ton of kills that way. Now here you go, you're seeing... yeah, here's a problem. If you take too long, don't take too long setting up your kill streaks, because you're going to have some problems with people finding you. I find that particularly with RC cars and what else? Chopper gunner, all that stuff. I mean, if you get all that stuff there, you're usually, unless you find a really good camping spot, then it's so hard to actually unlaunch that stuff. But anyway, back to the actual AK-74. Very easy. And here's the thing that makes it, in my opinion, the actual real reason why you would call it a noob weapon, other than the fact of the power and the fire rate or whatever. But it's the only SMG that allows you to put a noob tube on it. And I find that baffling that it's the only one. You know, Treyarch's usually very good at balancing weapons, but of all the SMGs, you've got this powerful SMG to begin with, and then it's the only one that you can put a noob tube on. I mean, if you're trying to attract newbies, new beginners or whatever to a certain weapon, you've done a hell of a job by doing that. You made it easy to use, you can run around really fast, and the fact that it has a noob tube on it and no other SMG has that, not a very good balancing. It's becoming the MP40 of SMGs again. I don't know what it is. It's like, they're like, you know what, let's just put one weapon in there that's absolutely ridiculously easy to use and overpowered. And we'll make it the AK-74U. You know what I mean? And granted, I come across it all the time. I refuse to use it. I do use the FAMAS, which is, again, sort of that borderline newbie kind of weapon. But personally, I find it to be such a weak weapon. I really don't know why people are always saying it's a noob weapon. It's automatic, yeah, but it's piss poor. I mean, Commando, I've seen a lot more people using Commando. The weapon, by the way, if you don't have it, Commando is actually one of the assault rifles. More and more people are using the Commando now, more than anything. The AUG, but, you know, whatever. The FAMAS is one of the early weapons that you unlock, so that's probably why they see it as a noob weapon. You know, every person has it, you know, earlier on. They tend to get better at it, so they whine. Oh, I love this weapon too, the G11. I haven't used it in a while. I'm actually going away from the G11. I think it was because of Medina, but I might be going back to it. He said that it's not allowed in MLG. Like, we're getting ready for competitive game battles, and they said, well, you can't use it in MLG, but then Fisher told me that you can. So I'm probably going to go back to it. It's an amazing weapon to use, incredible power, great accuracy. It's a lot of fun. It takes a little bit to get used to, but just an amazing weapon to actually use. Anyway, so Deathmatch, you'll notice, and I like the fact that, and I mentioned this when we were watching the Modern Warfare 2, although there's customizable kill streaks in this, the fact is that they're not stackable. You can't use one kill streak, hope that that kill streak gets you 2 more kills, and then unlocks the other kill streak for you. You still have to earn it. So I think that it's again about balancing, and I think Treyarch's doing a real good job of doing that, keeping the action in Deathmatch a little bit higher rather than people camping everywhere. Because I found that too much in Modern Warfare 2, or even in Deathmatch, people were, you know, camping a lot. Whereas in this, you still got to go out. People still get it. I mean, you know, you got your first kill streak. You want that second one. You're feeling confident. I mean, hell, you made it to the first one. Chances are, you know, you can make it to the second one, and so forth and so forth. And instead of having to rely on the kill streak, you actually have to go out there and kill the people. So I think they did a real good job there of bringing balance back. There's a little more action in Deathmatch. I don't find that people camp near as much in Black Ops as they did in Modern Warfare 2. Again, similar to World at War, you got to get used to the sort of the lag, the control, sort of input lag or whatever that Treyarch is known for. I don't think it's near as bad as it was in World at War. They definitely have improved it, but it's still not as crisp and clean as it is in Modern Warfare 2 or even Call of Duty 4, the old version. I think they still haven't really nailed it down, and that's really what Call of Duty is known for. So I think they still have some improvement to do I don't want to see it going towards the Battlefield or Medal of Honor sort of era, because that's not what this game is known for. So I still think that Treyarch has some work to do, but otherwise, really good job. You know, trying to bring balance and everything like that. They just need some tweaking on their matchmaking as well. Anyway, that's it. No more deathmatch. Let's move on. I've got a free-for-all and search and destroy coming. I'm Gunsfire from NextGenTactics. Peace. Get the latest updates and stay in touch with the NGT community with our all-new Facebook application. Check the description of the video for details.